In this video, I will be showing you how to turn a mummy into a blank. So you've had your mummy sitting for ideally 2 weeks, sometimes if you're in a pinch, less than that. And if you have the resources, it would be good to do more than that. So we will unwrap our butcher's twine to reveal the cane. Now what we'll do is we'll take our pliers and we'll gently take this off, and we'll put onto our forming mandrel. You can also just put this on a normal mandrel, or you could work on this on a pin. I'll just be showing you how to do it on a forming mandrel, but it's all basically the same. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take off the first wire. After we've done that, we're going to replace it with a new wire, and we're going to cut 3 wires. Because instead of just having 1, we are now going to have 3. So we'll put that first wire back in, and this is very important. So you'll take your wire, you'll bend it around the front. You see how I have a little bit of wiggle room here, and then you have a lot of wiggle room over here, and you're going to take it and wrap it around and bring it back to the front. Okay? Now you should have a good amount of excess on either side. If you do not, you probably need a longer wire, and having a wire that is too short is actually really dangerous, and you can poke yourself. I would know from personal experience, it's not very fun. So what we'll do, we'll take our pliers, we'll find where they meet in the middle, we'll pull a little bit, and then we'll twist. We're just going to do a couple twists just to get it in place. And now we're going to take our ruler and we're going to double check our measurement. We want the first wire to be 33.5 millimeters from the top of our blank. So we did a pretty good job with the mummy, and the indention's kind of already there. So when we've confirmed our measurement, we will focus the camera so you can see what I'm doing. We'll take our pliers and we're going to pull with our left hand, and then we'll twist with our right. Pull and twist. We'll pull and we'll twist. You don't want this to be excessively done, just to make sure. You just want enough to make sure that it's not going to go anywhere. After that, we'll cut it. And now I'm going to add our third wire. Our third wire and our first wire face the same direction. So I'm going to put this guy here. He goes 3 seconds from the bottom, or 3 to 4 30 seconds from the bottom of the blank. Make sure he's pretty tight too. And this one we're gonna cut really short, and I'll show you why in a second when we're wrapping him. All right, and the second wire, we're going to flip the reed around because we're going to do it the other direction. And this is going to be 8 millimeters from the middle of the first wire. So it's really important that the measurement of your first wire is accurate. So again, to put on this wire, we'll fold a little bit over. We'll take from the right, wrapping to the left. We'll take that around. Now I'll find where they meet in the middle. Take our pliers. Oh. And that was a mistake. So the problem there is I should have twisted a little bit before I pulled. Okay, we're gonna try this again. I think it was also due to having a short wire. Okay, so we're gonna find where they meet in the middle. We're gonna pull a little bit and we'll twist. We're gonna get it in generally the right place, but we're not gonna tighten it all the way because we wanna make sure this number's pretty good, pretty accurate. This is looking a little bit low, but who knows? I don't know. The ruler knows. All right. Yeah, it's a little bit low. So I'm just adjusting it with my fingers because it's loose enough to adjust it with my fingers. If it was too tight, I'd have to mess with the wires again. It's a little bit of a hassle. Okay, so now it's 8 millimeters. The top of the second wire is 8 millimeters from the middle of the first wire. So that means I'm just going to tighten this guy. And I'll cut it. And now this looks really great. Not yet, because it doesn't have the color. So it's looking a little bare, but this is a blank. So what I like to do is I'll put a very thin layer of Duco Cement from the second wire down. So I'm just pressing this very lightly. If you press too hard, a bunch will come out at the same time and there'll be an explosion and it'll be hard to manage. Okay, that's pretty good. It's just a light amount. Just a light amount. Now I'll take my thread. This end is not very defined, so I'm going to make it a little bit sharper, so it's easier to work with. So I'll take my razor blade and notice how I'm holding one end and then also a little bit over here. And now this is going to be a lot easier to work with because it has some structural integrity. What I like to do is I like to find my third wire. I like to find where I twisted it, and I'll hold it in place with my nail, right? So now my right hand has the ability to go wherever. So I'm going to wrap it just above the third wire. I'll wrap it around once, and then I'll cross over. And now at the back, I'm gonna go up, and then I'm gonna follow the pattern that I already made with a little bit of space in between the new line and the old line of thread. This is how you make a very good looking turban. And this takes practice to do. So I'm just gonna keep going until my turban goes to the end of the reed. I'll try to have as even spacing as I can. I'll center myself. And so now, like the third wire's gotten in the way a little bit, but I already cut it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm already holding the thread in place with my thumb so I don't unravel everything. I'm gonna take my pliers and I'm gonna fold the third wire up just to get out of the way. The turbine is important for a couple reasons. One of the reasons is you can actually hold your reed, right? If we didn't have this turbine here, the third wire would be poking us, and that would not be very fun. And another thing is it adds some weight to the reed, so if it falls, it'll land on its butt. All right, it's looking like I'm about done with this turbine. So now I'm just gonna continue up the tube. I'm not overlapping anything here. I'm not leaving any space either. If you make a mistake, you can always unravel a little bit and correct. Okay, now when I've gotten to the top, I'll leave a little bit extra material. Now I'm holding it with my thumb, and I'll do the same thing as before, where I'm holding my thread in place. Take my razor blade, make a nice cut. And now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So, I have this thread, I have a good amount of extra thread. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap it around my thumb very briefly, and now I'm gonna leave a loop. What I'm gonna do with the end is I'm gonna stick it in the loop, and then I'm gonna tighten it. Right, but now it's not perfectly in line. So I'm just gonna keep tightening it until it comes into place and it's all smooth and beautiful. And I'll take my razor blade. You'll be very careful not to hurt yourself. Just very lightly go like that. And now it is wrapped, except we need another layer of Duco cement to make sure that this thread is going to stay in place. So it's a good rule of thumb to remember where you started. Remember the orientation you started in so you don't waste Duco cement, because this stuff is actually pretty expensive. It adds up over time. I'm just doing a light layer. If I make any globs, I'll rub them in. And don't be afraid to use the Duco cement bottle to move your Duco cement around. Make it nice and even. This thread I actually got from Boca Majority when I was a camper in 7th grade. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, now we'll put the lid back on. You don't want that to dry up. And what you can do now is you can put it on one of your pins, and you can let it dry for 24 hours, and then you can make it into a day one.